Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Lonnie from FlightSim Gaming, and today we are doing a flight from Beijing to Hong Kong in the Fenix A320. This flight is a real-world flight done with Hong Kong Airlines, generally flown in the A330, but as we all know, Aerosoft has not released that A330 yet, so we are doing it in the Fenix. This is a payware scenery done by WF Scenery Studios. You can find their stuff on Sim Market. Beijing is one that I have purchased, as well as Hong Kong is another scenery that has been done by the same devs. So let's jump in the cockpit. Let's get things rolling. I do want to get up in the air. First things first, let's get the battery switches on. We'll hit external power. And we'll spool up the APU. Kick on some lights there. Crew supply, for whatever reason, that was already on. Set the adheres. That's really about it. Come over to the EFB. And I am quickly going to load in all the information here, and then I'm going to use GSX to do its thing. That. Then we'll come up here and we will request the
boarding requested.
Come down to the McDo here and we'll set things up. Go to the init page, init request. It's going to load up most of the information here. Flight number for today's flight, Hong Kong 337. You guys could look that up on Flight Radar. It is a real-world flight. I'm going to head over to SimBrief. I'm going to see what the cost index is and the cruise. Cost index is 59. We're cruising at flight level 340 today. 59, flight level 340. Plug all that stuff in. We will align the IRS. Yes, let's board both.
Pilot's boarding starting.
Going to plug in some zero fuel weights here. We have 60.9, 31.2, 60.9, 31.2. Let's get that going. The block fuel today is 11.3. I've done this flight many times in the past. Typically I find the block fuel is much higher than that. So let's see what happens with that. Okay, we are going to set our departure. We are departing today from runway 36 right. That is current to the time that I am flying this morning here in Beijing. And it is the Rus 9 Yankee Delta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that exactly correct.
Crew boarding starting. That's
what SimBrief has given me. We're going to insert that there. I'm going to put in the arrival for Hong Kong. We are expecting ILS 07 right. And it looks like SimBrief did not give me an arrival, so we're just going to insert that there for now. Let me come down here and make sure there is no crazy disc-ons, and if there is, like this one, we will get rid of it. Everything looks pretty well normal. Once the flight display gets going here, I'm going to go through the flight plan and make sure we are flying in the direction we need to be flying in. I do typically fly on VATSIM, or this flight I am not. I don't see any controllers online, so I've decided to stay offline. But if you do continue to watch the channel, I will be flying on VATSIM in future videos.
Your crew has boarded. Passengers boarding starting.
I do fly in North America, mainly on VATSIM. I have not flown in Asia. I have flown in Europe. Things do get a little bit different. But I do notice in Asia they don't use feet when flying, they use meters, so that can be tricky. We're not going to set a squawk, we don't need to. Come over to the performance tab here. Come over to the EFB and we will set this up. We're going to do a flaps 1 departure. QNH is 1023. Let's plug that up here. Or we forget. Set our constraints. We have V speeds 157, 157, 159. Back over here, 157, 157. We are doing a flaps 1 departure, and flex the temp is 59. This is set to 11. Transalt is flight level 9850. That is the transalt here in Beijing. Beijing. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't think it's Beijing. I think it's Beijing. But if you guys want to correct me, by all means. I always like to pronounce things the way they are meant to be said. So I do apologize if I'm not pronouncing some of these things correctly, but I am learning as I go. Let's come over here and set the altitude. We're going to shoot up right to flight level 340. We don't have any ATC online, so it will be an open climb. It'll get us up and going sooner rather than later. So we've got a company message here. It must be our load sheet. Yes, it is. Let's accept that. Alrighty, that's about it. We're waiting for everything to line up here. Once everything lines up, then we're going to make sure that our flight plan is going in the direction we need it to go in. Let's go inside and see what's going on out here. So we are departing from gate 206. 206 was the gate that this flight flew out of 2 days back. That flight was done in the A320. What we'll do is, I cannot pull up the Navigraph charts here, but I believe we will be taxiing out from here, out to Foxtrot. We're going to head down to Foxtrot, down to Whiskey 1, and then on to the runway. I do have Navigraph up here, but I'm fine that every time I pull it up, I can think of my next one, but I don't know, so. Want some crates going in here. If anybody knows how to disable crates going into the aircraft and baggage, let me know. I would like to know if I can set that up. This happens at random. I'm not exactly sure why. I find that in the PMDG I'm getting baggage being loaded, actual luggage, rather than just crates. It doesn't look super realistic, and unless they do load everything up with these crates on a domestic flight or an commercial flight. This is a nice livery. I did come across this on the Phoenix livery app, and I must say I do like the colors. A lot of the livery out here in Asia are very affordable, very nice. Some of the stuff you do see. Looks like we got 77 passengers loaded, 79 now. I do have the load time pretty quick. I don't like to wait around. I like to get things going and get on out of here. I do have the fuel loaded, so let me just get these fuel pumps on before I forget. Oops. There we go. So as I was saying, this is my first video in which I'm doing a voiceover. It's kind of weird for me because I'm typically not a good speaker. But I find that viewers tend to interact with the video better if you have somebody speaking. Somebody can show you kind of what's going on in the aircraft. If you don't understand what's going on, you can always, view back to some footage and listen to what's happening. This channel will be doing monthly giveaways. I will choose a winner once a month for a specific giveaway. For the most part, I will be giving away some market gift vouchers, the €25 gift voucher to a lucky winner. There are eligibility requirements. You need to be subscribed, to like and comment on the video in which I'm doing the giveaway on, and we'll be doing that once a month. That's just a little something to give back to the viewers here, to the audience. I do like when I see content creators doing giveaways. It's nice to give back to the community. I am a very new YouTuber. I'm not, by any means, I'm not a content creator. I do have a full-time job, and this is something that I just do kind of on my spare time, and I decided to do some videos, you know, on my spare time, so everybody can kind of see what's going on. I want to look at this flight plan, make sure that the departure looks great. We have constraints there, it looks like. So we'll be shooting down. So we'll be taking off, runway 36 right, flying runway heading, and then we'll be making a left turn. And we'll be going up to the left and then south. Just make sure we do get to Hong Kong. I'll probably cut out some of these different waypoints rather than, you know, bounce left and right. We'll just shoot straight down. This video will not be a full flight. It will be pieces of a full flight, rather than, you know, people watching fly a cruise. So let's get rid of some of this stuff here. So NLG, we're gonna get rid of two waypoints here. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. And that should clean up the flight plan a little bit. There we go. That's exactly what I want. Most importantly, let me set this frequency here for the ILS. I will be checking later on in the flight where the winds are and where aircraft are currently landing. I do like to keep the immersion as realistic as possible. Most importantly, runway landings change based on weather and wind. So 109.3 is the frequency. 07. Right. And I think I just heard a ding. So we must have, buddy, load it up. What we're going to do now is we're going to prepare for pushback. We're not going to de-ice. It's pretty warm here. Some of the cool things about GSX, you know, you have the baggage loaders. You can also have fuel trucks come load up the aircraft, and you have this option of, you know, requesting clearance and pushback. So they comes up here, puts the lock pin in, how it comes out, pushes you out. GSX is a payware product. You have to purchase it on some market. To be honest, I don't remember what I paid, but if I had to guess, it's probably around 30 euros. APU bleed has to be on prior to engine start. My apologies. I thought I already had that switch on. And pushback direction. We are going to go nose right, tail left. Let's come in here. Get rid of the Fenix GPU. Yes, yes. There we go. Engine start switch goes to start, and we will start engine 2. For everybody wondering the performance, I do have the FPS counter here from Steam in the bottom right hand corner. I do find, without recording, that this FPS counter increases by about 5 to 10 FPS. And as you stream, it just tanks even worse. So performance is pretty good at this airport overall. Engine number 1, start. Beautiful. Hopefully we don't get pushed into the fence here. But you just never know with GSX. GSX tends to do GSX things from time to time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to stop and completely push back. Both engines are running. We're going to come up here. APU bleed off, master switch off. And we're going to set our nose lights to taxi. Engine start switch, can go back to the norm position. Auto brake, max, always max. Set the ground spoilers and flaps set to 1. Wait for GSX to disable. Hug. Okay, let's go. Park brake released. And like I said, we're going to just taxi out here around this left corner here. And we're going to hit Foxtrot. Takeoff config to make sure we have no blue. Perfect. We're going to hit the Foxtrot. We're going to hang a right on Foxtrot. And we're going to go down to Whiskey 1. Whiskey 1, I believe, is the taxi just before the run. You guys can't see Navigraph. I can. Hopefully by the next video I can somehow figure out how to show up the Navigraph on the actual video. I believe taxi speed in the A320 is max 15 knots, I believe. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me. Also, too, please drop comments if there's something I have done wrong in the aircraft prior to this cold start setup. Let me know. I'm always looking to, you know, better myself. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a few years. I did jump on some of the GA stuff at the very beginning, but I got bored pretty quick. Started flying the fly-by-wire A320 and lived off of that pretty much up until PMDG released their 737. And then eventually the A320, and right now, you know, my main airliners are the 2 aircraft. I do fly the CRJ from time to time. I do some Air Canada Express ops in that. I love flying that aircraft, but I mean, it's not a high fidelity aircraft. Hopefully, you know, Aerosoft can turn that around with the A330. It's something, you know, just as good as the PMDG stuff. Personally, I think Phoenix should develop the whole Airbus lineup. What they've done for this A320. You know, I think if they brought an A330, possibly an A340, you know, and so on, that would be really good for the flight sim community. It is early morning here in Beijing. It's about, you know, 8:15 in the morning local time. Foxtrot here. We're going to hang a right. We're going to take it down to Whiskey 1. For anybody wondering what products I am using, I do have Honeycomb, Yoke, and Throttle Quadrant, along with the Logitech rudder pedals. I love the Honeycomb. No disrespect to the real flight simmers out there that use an Airbus side stick while flying the Airbus. I understand it's a complete sin flying Airbus with a flight yoke, but I have yet to purchase one. I know they're great, but I have yet to purchase one. I do find the Honeycomb yoke is pretty stiff. You know, it flies its best in GA aircraft. I was doing a little bit of Caribbean ops in Kodiak, and this yoke is perfect for that. I have heard, you know, grab the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke for some of the airliners, and I hear that that pendular swing arm system that they have with that yoke is just complete seamless, flawless stuff. So, but I must say I do like my Honeycomb stuff. It is top-notch quality stuff. Slow down just a little bit. this taxiway here is Whiskey 1. This is where we're going to make a left to get onto the runway. Some lights on here. Get centered here. Perfect. Okay, we are cleared for takeoff as we do not have any ETC. Just pull up the engine to 40%. Stay stabilized. Set flex. Flex and set. Center here on the runway. knots. Flight directors here. Pitch at about 15 degrees. Throttle set to the climb detent, and we'll pitch down, gain a little bit of speed here. I don't know, man, there's just something about flying this aircraft I absolutely love. I'll be honest, my landings are, sometimes spicy. I have been working on flaring this aircraft, and I do find it's a little bit difficult. But when it comes to how the aircraft feels in the air, boy, she feels absolutely heavy, and I love it. From what I hear, this aircraft flies, pretty close to the real deal. Keep in mind, you cannot compare, flight physics from a real aircraft to a game. That just doesn't happen. But yeah, I love this bird a lot. We're going to remove the ground spoilers, and we're going to go flaps up. We're going to be making a left turn shortly. still flying this thing manually. I'll make the left turn, and then I'm going to kick on the autopilot. There goes our left turn. And we'll follow the flight directors. Some lights up here. Kick on the autopilot. Around 9,800 feet, we're going to set the barrel to the standard pressure. There she goes. 1,000 feet. Track the lights, wing lights. There we have it, folks. Oh, let's release the cabin. Cannot forget these passengers here. So this will conclude this part of the flight. What I'll do now is I will do a quick little 1-minute video of the aircraft flying at cruising level, and then I'll get back to you guys shortly while we are descending into Hong Kong. Thanks for hanging out. Back, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you have not, and for those who stayed, thank you again. We are now currently descending from 34,000 feet all the way down to 1,600 feet. That is where you'll capture the glide slope for runway 07 right. As you can see, it appears that there are some overcast skies clouding over Hong Kong currently at the moment. So let's get down here and we're going to plug in some destination data. QNH in Hong Kong currently is going to be 1019. Temperature 17 degrees. The winds are 090 at 6, relatively calm. Okay, our trans level is going to be 9,000, and our barrel for ILS 07 right is 227 feet. Plug all that stuff in there. There we go. Currently raining in Hong Kong, so it should make for a very great landing. As we approach into these beautiful clouds here, let's take in these views. These are some crazy looking clouds. I love this. So we'll put our seatbelt light on there, get the cabin ready. We're approaching 19,000 feet. And we should be down, I would say within the next 15 minutes or so. So the METAR is showing new clouds at 400, scattered at 1200. Not bad. I do believe we will be heading into, I think it's gate 203 in Hong Kong. I'm not exactly sure if that's where the real-world aircraft deborted from, because flight radar is only showing live data from the flight after it took off and just before it approached the airport. But basically, once we land, plan to get off either Juliet 7 or Juliet 8, and then we'll backtrack to gate 201, and that's where we're going to deport them. Some drag here. We'll pull up the speed brakes here and slow us down. And you can see we have to send a little bit further down here. So as I was saying earlier in the video, this is my first video where I'm doing a voiceover. If you do enjoy the content, please give me a thumbs up, write a comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. This channel, over time, we will be doing different flights. I try not to do, flights that you would typically see up on YouTube. I do find a lot of content creators are, for the most part, flying the same routes. I'm open to any type of requests that you guys may have. You can bring in the comments down below. Any flights that you would like to see. As for scenery, I don't fly into default airport. I do find that some of the default airport performance lacks, so all the airports that I do fly into are going to be Hayward airports. Plus, too, the visuals for this game are really, really nice. I do like, to see nice visuals. This default airport stuff, it's not that great. So if you have any requests, please make sure that there is Hayward stuff available. Okay, we're at the 10,000 feet mark here. Let's turn on our landing lights. Put our wing lights on. Put our landing system on. And I'm going to set auto brake. We'll set it to low. see down here, we are 24.5 miles away from the airport. Once we get to about 10 miles, we'll start slowing down, getting ready for the approach. We're going to set the QNH now to 1019. Make sure both sides are good. I'm going to activate the approach phase right now. It'll get us down to our green dot speed, about 215, 217. And then I'm going to arm the approach early. Keep descending down to 1600. We'll slow it down. Did I just see a little bit of lightning there? I don't think I've ever seen lightning in the simulator before. I'm going to go ahead and set flaps 1. Should be slowing down to about 190 there. Not exactly sure why we're speeding up here. Still not exactly sure why we're speeding up here. Manually put in their speeds here. I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, here we go. Looks like we're finally slowing down. About 10 miles. Try the speed brakes. Picking up the glide slope now as we approach this waypoint here. The aircraft should capture the localizer and bring us down to the runway. Go ahead and I'll set the speed brakes. flaps 2. Slope is now bringing us down. I'm going to set just approach altitude
2,500.
Turn the rest of the lights on here. Let me turn on. Light. About 7.5 miles out. Looking good. Stay at 160 for now. So we get to about 6 miles out. Then go ahead, flaps 3, gear down. Flaps full. Get ready for the approach. Flaps 3. Gear down. And flaps 3. Can't see the runway yet. Leave this little highway or freeway here, goes underground, crosses back into mainland China, I believe. I could be wrong. I believe that goes into, there's a tunnel in the water to back into the western part of China. It's pretty cool. Minus these clouds, without this weather right now, you know, this approach is pretty scenic. You can see the runway lights approaching. We're about 3 miles out.
$1,000.
Okay, gonna go my airplane. So we got flaps full, gear down, spoilers are armed, lights are on. Let's bring this book down. It's a little windy right now. It's showing the winds are 036 at 22, 23. Winds in this game are not too accurate. They're expecting just 7 knots of wind. A little high on the approach here. Let's get this back down. Get stayed here. I'm sure what's going on. Really high up the approach here. Really high up the approach here.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Right, there we go. 2 whites, 2 reds. That's what we want.
$40, $30, $20, retard. $10,
Now,
$5,
so. Covered it there. I got really high up on the approach. Knots. Slowly reverse. I wish that was a little bit more smoother on the approach there. Not sure what happened. Anyway, let's get off here. Slowing her down, slowing her down. Okay, let's call GSX here. gate D. And we're going to go gate 201. Not gonna do don't follow me and Hong Kong Airport Services. Turn off some of the lights here. Taxi lights are going. Spool up the APU. Let's clean up flaps. Our gate is, I believe, right over here. So you can see the same developer that did the Beijing airport. It's very nice. Well, it's not too terrible. Again, porting or streaming, you're going to see 5 to 10 frames, 5 to 10 frame difference. I believe prior to recording, I was getting about 48 FPS. Keep in mind, this is not the gate that this aircraft taxied to. Not exactly sure why I chose this gate. I believe I chose this gate for practice flights. This is not the actual gate that I'm not exactly sure which airliners arrive at this terminal. This could be a domestic terminal, I'm not exactly too sure. Could be an international terminal, I'm not sure. But we're looking for gate 201, and this should be the last one. Let's go with the taxi. Coming up on 203 here. 201 will be next. Believe it or not, gate 202 is on the other side of this terminal, in that direction over there. So we'll go ahead and we'll turn the taxi lights off. We don't want to blind the marshaller. And let's see if we can butter this taxi to the gate. Try to keep the aircraft as center as possible. down right here. Parking brake, and we'll go ahead and we'll turn on the APU bleed and shut down the engines, and let's see if she dances. Go ahead and request the board thing.
The boarding requested.
Look at that. Very rarely do I ever get the marshaller to do a dance for me. Kind of weird how the door just opened there for the actual jetway attached. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watched the video. Please leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more FlightSim content. Earlier in the stream I talked about doing a giveaway at the end of the month. That giveaway will be a $25 Euro gift voucher for Sim Market, where you can use that gift voucher towards, you know, scenery, aircraft, what have you, or P3D, X-Plane, and Microsoft FlightSim. In order to be entered into that giveaway, you must be subscribed. You have to like and comment in the video. That information I will provide at a later
Passengers
date.
aboard and starting.
So I will let you know what videos to do that on, and you can give yourself, you know, a gift voucher. That's pretty much it, everybody. Thank you for watching the video again, and I appreciate you guys taking the time. Have yourselves a wonderful day.